With PSG's record-breaking victory in the Champions League, the 24-25 season comes to an end. It's been a historic year, with Newcastle winning their first trophy in 70 years, the Crystal Palace winning their first ever major trophy, and even Tottenham winning the Europa League. It's time to name our Premier League team of the season. Right, goalkeepers then. Goalkeepers up first. Who have you got?
I have got Allison as my goalkeeper. I think he's just been solid this season. For me, he's been the best keeper in the league for a number of seasons now. Um, and yeah, I just think he's just a big part in Liverpool winning the league. I think he does. Obviously they've got so much talent in the attack and such a balanced team there, but I think what Allison does for him in the net is just unbelievable sometimes. So he definitely goes in for me.
Interesting. I've gone for David Raya.
Yeah,
That's a
Arsenal
bit
straight away.
biased.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, yeah. My right back, right back's Ben White. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
yeah.
um, no, I think right. Yeah, Allison. I think he is the best goalkeeper in the league, and he has been for a long time. But realistically, he's also had he's been in the Premier League winning team. You can't really knock him.
Yeah,
Raya's won the Golden Boot again,
yeah.
joint with Matt Sells, I think, this year. He won it
Golden
last
Glove.
year. The
Yeah,
yeah, the Golden Glove, not the
yeah,
Golden
he's done
Boot.
really well. Yeah, Golden Boot from in the sticks, unreal.
Yeah, I think the way he's leveled up our defence, and obviously Saliba and Gabriel are a massive part of that.
Yeah,
But the way he's so calm, he's so good with his feet, which is integral to the way we build up out the back, and he comes and claims crosses, and it just calms us down compared to where we were with Aaron Ramsdale. He's just leveled us up. I think he's borderline world class.
he is a good
No one's
goalkeeper.
saying he's better.
Yeah, he is
He's not
quality.
a better goalkeeper than Allison. Of course, he's not. But after Allison, I'll say he's the second best keeper in the league. The reason he gets it for me is I think Allison's had a couple of little injuries here and there. Um, and it's just Raya for me with the
Yeah,
Golden Glove.
that's fair enough. Still a fair shout, isn't it? So, who you got a right back?
I've gone for, and I don't know where. I don't know if I'm like with the majority or completely out here, but I've gone with Munoz from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he was a close second for me, to be fair. He's had a really, really good season.
Who have you
Obviously,
gone for?
I've gone for Ola Aina from Notts Forest. I think he's
Yeah,
absolute beast. I think he's just been so solid for Obviously, I know Forest have had a little bit of a drop off in form towards the end of the season, but I just think whenever I've seen him, he's just been an absolute tank. I just think he's such a good player.
yeah, you can't knock it, and not Nottingham Forest player, you can't. It's hard to deny them at all, is it? With Munoz, I think he's obviously they won the FA Cup. I know this is Premier League strictly, but he was so important to that run. The way he epitomises a wing back, and
Yeah,
he's so important to the way they play,
yeah,
and just bombing up and down. And I wouldn't be surprised if, with all respect to Palace, a bigger team comes in for him.
yeah.
He got the assist in the FA Cup final. I think he got an assist in the semi final. I think he's up there with one of the most, I think, second most tackles in the league. I was reading.
Mm.
He's just in a season where, yes, Aina as well. Trent's always good, but has he been that good this year?
Yeah, I mean, like
Man City have done
Trent's been
nothing.
good, but and like obviously he's got his move to Real Madrid now as well, which Liverpool fans might be a bit a little bit salty about, but it's one of them things. He's been a good servant for the club, but yeah, I don't know. He just like I still think there's that little question of Trent occasionally defensively, like just whereas like I think
Yeah,
Munoz and I think Aina as well. I don't know. There's just something about them two for me. They've just really stuck out, and it was a toss up between the two of them. I just went for Aina, but Vinoz is such a shout as well, to be honest.
no, fair enough. All right, cool. So centre backs. Now, I haven't gone for a partnership. I don't believe in that because
Nah,
no one ever puts a partnership of strikers in these things.
nah, not
Uh,
unless they've both
so
been like ridiculous head and shoulders above the
yeah,
rest
yeah,
of the
yeah,
league.
yeah.
But I mean, one of mine's Virgil van Dijk, and I've got a feeling. I'm guessing you've got to have him in there,
Yeah,
surely.
yeah, of
Like,
course.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I think he's one of two absolute shoe-ins in like the only two guarantees in this team. Premier League winning captain. He's come up with crucial goals. He's just a class still above any defender in the league,
Yeah,
and that's including Gabriel and Saliba. And how much I rate them.
yeah,
He's just led from the front, hasn't he? And they've kept him for another year. The question now, I think, is where does he rank in the all-time centre back greats?
yeah. I mean, he has to be up there. I mean, like, kind of, especially like, I always think when people are ranking these things, like, while they're still playing, there's always that whole like, I don't know, almost like legend bias of like they look at the older players and because they're not playing anymore, there's almost this legend bias of like, oh yeah, they were so much better than Van Dijk, and then maybe when Van Dijk's like 10 years later, people will look back on Van Dijk in that same way. I think that sometimes people are a bit biased with the older players compared to just someone who's playing now, but really, like from what Van Dijk's done, he has to be up there with one of the best centre backs the league's ever seen. I think he's just done it year in year out.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no question of him. The other one is maybe not everyone's pick. I've gone Dan Burn,
Dan Burn,
and
yeah,
that's
and
maybe a bit romantic. Obviously, he's won the FA Cup,
he's
not the FA Cup,
versatile as
sorry,
well. Like
the
play a
League Cup.
fullback as well. Can he really like? From
Yeah,
what I've seen anyway.
and I think
Might be wrong, but
I've certainly, yeah, but before this season, I've kind of not underrated him, but thought he's limited. And he's just been a monster this year. And he had that moment, the winner in the cup final. He
yeah,
was just a unit
he's just an
in
old
that game.
school
In that
defender, isn't
game,
he? Just no nonsense. I just
yeah,
like him. I think he just does exactly what you want him to in the defence. Like he's just just such a good player.
yeah.
But I mean, I think my other one, to be honest, I would go with Gabriel, another goal scoring centre back. I think he scored so
Oh,
many headers for
really?
you lot. But yeah, I've got Gabriel as my other centre back. I actually think he's been better than Saliba this year. I think he's I really think, I don't know why he gets overshadowed by Saliba so much. And I'm not saying that Saliba's a bad centre back by any means. He's like absolute class, but I just think he's almost weirdly underrated next to him in a weird way of like how good he actually is. Whenever I see him, I actually think he's the better performer quite a lot of the time. And I don't know if that's because against us in the derby, he seems to always turn it up. Like he always seems to do well. But I think he's got like man of the match for the last 2, 3 North London derbies or something stupid. But I just think he's just been crucial for you lot. I think if you lose Gabriel, that's such a hole in your defence, and I just think he's had such a good season.
Yeah, for me. He didn't get in because of the injury, and I think if he stayed fit the whole season, he's in
Yeah,
ahead of Burn. But yeah, I think Saliba's the pretty defender. The more people say Rolls Royce defender, right? That's what they say.
yeah,
Gabriel does the nitty gritty. He's so good at set pieces, both attacking and defending. He
mm,
has there was a time with our set pieces when he was on the pitch that where this and people overuse this word so much, but this aura about
yeah.
him, they were, and that was just
He
part of
definitely
it. The
has it from
panic that he would
corners,
cause.
100%. Like literally,
Yeah,
like
hundred
so when
percent.
you see him coming from a corner, just like you just shit yourself, like because he's just bound
Yeah,
to score a
yeah,
header.
he's
It's
so good.
ridiculous. Like
He's so good. I think I do a little bit shout out to Huijsen at Bournemouth and Milinkovic at Nottingham Forest.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they're unfortunate to miss out here. Right, left back. Who are you going with?
I've got Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth.
Oh, see, I've gone the other way, and I think it's a one of two with most people here.
It's
I've
a bit
gone
like
with Robinson from
It's a bit like the
Fulham.
fullbacks, isn't it? It was another one that's a bit of a way up.
It,
I just think Kirk as a Bournemouth, I just think he's been a joke. I think, again, a bit like you said earlier with Minoz, I think, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but I think someone's going to snap him up this summer, I reckon he's going to be one of them. I mean,
think
again,
he's linked with Liverpool.
yeah, he looks like that. But I suppose obviously they've had Hewson that looks like he looks like he's on the move, doesn't he? I think potentially.
Yeah,
Do they
yeah.
let Kirkes go in the same window? They might not have a choice, but I think he's had such a good season. I can just see Liverpool coming in and being, especially with like, and Robertson's like just, getting a little bit older now. But yeah, I just think it'd slot into that team really well, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a toss up for me. I think Kirkes is absolutely a Liverpool fullback. He's just the way he bombs up and down. Robertson, I think he's got 10 assists this year, which is I think that's like joint fifth in the league ahead of people like Saka, and it's he's been so good for again with all respect Fulham, who have not been they're not in the top four. You know, this is a team that are slightly lower down the league,
Yeah,
and he's just been a different class. Yeah.
yeah. No, solid. Midfield. One of them I've got Ryan Gravenberch. I think
Is it a three man midfield you've
for
got?
me it is. Yeah, is it the same for you?
Yeah, yeah, same.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah, I've got
Gravenberch in there.
Gravenberch as well.
Yeah, he has to go in. I think he's been. I he could be up there. No, probably potentially looking at it, possibly signing of the season. I would say maybe. You know, one of the signings of the season. I'd say for me, I think he's been unbelievable for Liverpool. Um, Such a good buy.
Yeah, I think I think he's been most improved completely because I think when he come in, he wasn't signed as a six. I don't think he's ever been labelled as a six when he started at Ajax, I think, and then Bayern
Yeah,
Munich. And everyone looked at Liverpool and thought, right, Slot's coming in. They don't have a number six. They were
yeah,
missing that.
yeah,
You know, McAllister isn't a number six, and to adapt to that position and
yeah,
play it so well all season has it's been the foundation. And I think
yeah,
he's won Young Player of the Year um, as
yeah,
well. Yeah, he's absolute shoo-in. And
yeah,
then so moving on to my other midfield too, right next to him is McAllister.
yeah. Another one that's in
Again,
my team as well.
title winning midfielder. What can you say? He's one of those I think who goes under the radar. He's neat and tidy. He just ticks things over, but he comes up with a worldie when you need it.
I think he's just improved a lot this year. I think he's gone up a level in like he was always a good player, but I think he's almost like he's doing it a bit more week in week out now, rather than being as a little bit more inconsistent. He's just seems to be showing his class a lot more.
Yeah, what I like about him, I think it's underrated, is that tenacity of winning the ball back and being aggressive. But
Yeah,
I think he got the goal. I think he scored a goal against Tottenham
yeah,
to win the league. You know that game, and he just to put it beyond all doubt because Tottenham scored first, and he rifled it. I think on his weak foot
yeah,
into
yeah.
the top corner, and that's what can you say?
He's got a lot about him.
But yeah,
Like he's quite an all-rounded player in like quite many ways, to be
yeah,
honest. But
underrated definitely.
I think he's underrated.
And who's your last midfielder?
Declan Rice was my last midfielder. I
Is
think
it?
he goes
Oh,
in.
you're
Yeah.
making me look bad as an Arsenal fan
I
because
know,
I've not
I
got him.
know. No, I would. Well, I would put him in. He's my only other. I mean, I think from what I'm looking at it, I think I've only put the two Arsenal players in. But I think for me, them two with Gabriel, Declan Rice he has been that one that you can't look at him at, oh, this is the reason Arsenal finished second or not won anything. He's completely done above and beyond for Arsenal. I think he's just been a machine in midfield. And for me, he would just slot into the team of the season perfectly, just beyond them two, just because he's just been again, it's one of them that's consistency. I think for team of the season, you've got to be consistent, and he is just that most games, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard for me to disagree. I've gone for Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah, there's another
Rice is
shout.
it's a tough one for me because I love him. He's definitely a number eight, not a number six. Obviously, he can play that six role and just hold really well.
Yeah,
But it's like playing with his shackled. He needs that freedom, and he's not a he's
yeah,
not
yeah,
a number eight who's going to open up defenses with these little passes. He's a box to box powerhouse.
yeah,
And obviously, he had the moments of the season for me. Those two free kicks against Real Madrid,
yeah,
iconic. But Bruno for me, he just epitomises Newcastle and their fight and their tenacity, and they are a horrible team to play against.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he is the heart and soul of that team. I
yeah.
think he's played every game this season. He played like a demon in the cup final. He was just a man possessed, and he's they've a cup and finishing fourth or maybe fifth now. I can't remember.
He just looks pure
I just
class
think he's been
sometimes.
so
I
good.
think. Yeah, he just looks
Yeah, I think
quality every
he
time.
come in from I want to say Marseille a couple of years ago, and he's now living up to that hype as one of the best players in that league at the time. And there was talk of him being sold, I think, a year or two ago, but no way
Yeah,
now.
no, he's literally just come in and done so well. But yeah, no, he's another one. It's like the thing is that if I've gone with someone, you've gone for my second option effectively. Just like weighing the two
Yeah,
choices up, it's just hard. I think in the
Yeah,
attacking line, I think it becomes a little bit more clear. I mean, there's no way I could put my house on you've put Mo Salah in your team. Otherwise, you're literally
100%.
stupid.
Yeah, he's in.
Anyone who hasn't is literally dumb. But yeah, that's the man who he's the first name on the team sheet. He's been, most goals, most assists. Just yeah, he's just been a different class
I
and
think
a Premier
I
League
think this.
legend.
Yeah, I think there's no debate here. We don't have to. What's not been said about Salah? I think he's the first player. I could be completely wrong here to win the Golden Boot and the Playmaker Award and Player of the Season in one season. I think he's
Yeah,
tied the
probably the
record for
three of
goal
them.
involvements.
I mean, Kane got goals and
Um,
assists in one season, won, top goals and top assists in one
mm,
season. But I don't know if he won Player of the Season. As stupid that is, that he got both of them,
no,
on the charts. But I
but
can't remember
Salah's
if he did or not.
he's just we've always known he's good. When we spoke, how many times have we spoken about him, and he's in the conversation in that certainly in the top 10 Premier League players of all time for me.
100%, top
But
five,
now,
I think,
now,
easy.
now it's a debate of where is he in that list.
Yeah, he's
For
top five
me,
for me.
off the top of my head, without debating it, I'd say he's top three. But
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
it's hard, and that's where people will go and top three Salah. You've got this, you've got Henry, you've got Rooney, you've got Shearer, but in reality, again, it's one of them. When he leaves and he becomes kind of like that legend status where he's not playing anymore, and you look back on him in 10 years, will he have that same thing when you're looking at that list? For me, I wouldn't be against putting him in the top three. I think he's just been unbelievable. Like he's just again, consistency, just every single
He's
season, doing it
just
all the time.
inevitable, and I think extra applaudus this year. He's added even more assists. It's a
Yeah,
ridiculous amount of goals
it's
for
the
in key
numbers. It's
moments.
pure numbers. It's just
It's
ridiculous.
yeah, but he would get a goal and an assist in a game.
Yeah,
He's never greedy with it. Well, he's greedy enough to be a top class goal scorer,
yeah, yeah,
but we thought, how is he going to cope after Klopp's left? It's a seismic shift in the football club, isn't it? When an iconic manager leaves
yeah.
and Slot comes in, slightly different style. Thought we were going to be more possession based, and he's just delivered beyond anyone really
Just
thought.
keeps its
Again,
class. I look at
yeah,
kind of like Son in a way of like being like a Spurs fan myself, and like pains me to say it. Obviously, he's slowing down a little bit more now, with his numbers and just his pace and everything. He's you can tell he's getting a little bit slower now. But whereas Salah, he just shows no sign of slowing down. If anything, he just looks better every season. It's ridiculous, but
yeah, and I think he was the most important one of the three the contracts expiring at Liverpool. He was the most important one
oh,
to keep.
100%, 100%. Like,
But yeah,
yeah,
he's a shoe in. I think just to wrap this up, I don't know about you. I've got Isak
Isak,
up
yeah,
front.
yeah,
Again,
has to
you
be,
can't.
yeah,
He got 23 goals this year.
yeah.
He scored hat tricks. He destroyed us in the Carabao Cup semi final.
Yeah, there's
He
another
got a
one that's
goal
gone up another
in
level, isn't he? He just looks different
yeah,
class. Like he was good last season, but again, he looks like someone who's just gone that little level above again. Just yeah, he just looks pure class up front now. He just looks like he's added more to his game, and just
mm,
yeah, again, he's just got. If he can just keep repeating those numbers, he's going to go down as like just a fantastic Premier League striker, And like again, if Newcastle keep performing, they've got no worry about losing these people like Isak and Guimaraes and all these different players. They're not going to be looking elsewhere anymore like they would have done a few years ago if they can keep playing at such a high standard and finishing in the top four. Then they're more likely to keep these people.
yeah, I think so. Winning the cup is massive. Getting back in the
Yeah,
Champions League is down to massively because of him. Realistically, Newcastle won't sell him. They'd have to have an astronomical offer that no one can
oh
afford.
yeah, 100%. It's going to be big.
And I think this season Newcastle could really push on and challenge with two or three more signings to really bolster that team.
Yeah,
The sky's the limit for them, really.
yeah, definitely.
And then my last play, I struggled with a left winger, but I've landed on Mateus Cunha.
Oh yeah, I've done the same. Yeah, and it
Have
felt like
you?
because I put him in left. I mean, technically, although he's probably not, he's not left winger, but like I had to put someone there, and it seemed wrong leaving Cunha out. He's been so good this season in a Wolves team, And to be fair, he's not always the middleman anyway when Strand Larsen's playing. So he is
Yeah,
technically playing in that like kind of centre forward or like just behind him or just off to the right or left. Them sort of positions. I think he can. He's got such class. He can play anywhere in that front three, to be honest. But I think it looks like he's a here we go with Romano for Man United by the looks of it. So um, what a signing for them. This just shows that, as
yeah,
bad a season they've had, they've still got that buying power. But yeah, I was just watching him like a couple of times and just thought he just sticks out like a sore thumb with like not, like Wolves have got some decent players, but the level of Cunha, he's been a joke this season.
yeah. I completely agree. It's a couple of seasons in a row now that Wolves have kind of scraped staying in the Premier League, and that's
Yeah,
been down to Cunha both times. He's too good for that team,
yeah.
and
It's the
it's his
bangers as
goals
well.
outside the
Yeah, as it
yeah,
like you were
I
going
was
to
gonna say
say, the
goals
bangers.
outside the box, and
Yeah,
he's hits worldies all the time. He's
yeah,
There was a time where Arsenal were interested in him as well, but I don't think we're going to pay that much for him ultimately,
yeah,
which is a shame. He will elevate Man United. There's no two ways about that. Where Wolves will
yeah.
be without him,
They can't ruin
if
him
they
as well,
use
surely.
we will see. But he is a if you I think of the Man United of old, Cunha is a Man United player. You know what I mean when I
Yeah,
say that. He's got a bit of an edge about him, like slightly arrogant. I think he only got sent off once, but
yeah.
he's
He's
got a
got
bit of
more
bite
than the
about him.
average number nine, and he's not just goals. And what I like about him is, and like not loads and loads of strikers can do that these days, is he can create chances for himself. Like he doesn't need to have
Yeah,
just pure service. He can just pick up the ball and just make something happen, which is such a skill to have.
yeah, 100%. But that's my team. Is there anyone who you feel a bit? Oh, should I have left him out?
Yeah, I mean, literally
Um,
the only other ones were who you mentioned, with like Munoz at right back and Robinson at left back. Just apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest.
Yeah, the only one I feel have I made a mistake is Caicedo for Chelsea. I think they've
Yeah, that's
managed to get
true.
into
I even was going to
the
say Morgan Gibbs White. That might be a bit more of a wild card, but like I think he's been unreal this season as well. But yeah,
yeah, he's been good.
Caicedo's been solid. Like he's another one that could have easily gone in there. But yeah, we've just had that's what's good about this season, like the season that's just gone, I suppose, is that there's no kind of concrete. Obviously, you've got your concrete players like Van Dijk, Salah, but there's a lot that can be debated. A bit like this video, there's a lot that's in there that could easily slide in as well, and it's then comes down to personal opinion.
Yeah, I feel like this has been a bit of a different. I think like the elephant in the room is that Man City has fallen off this year
Yeah,
completely. So normally this is dominated by Man City players,
yeah, yeah,
but we've got no Haaland, no Rodri, no De Bruyne, no Ruben Diaz, no Edison this year.
yeah, yeah,
So it's been able to mix it up. Um, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
yeah,
Um, you happy?
yeah. No, more than happy.
Roll on next season, I say.
Yeah, no. See how we go.